I'm going to show you how to add appointments and bookings to your calendar in MotorDesk. This will work whichever view you're using in MotorDesk. You just need access to the calendar, and we'll start by adding an appointment just by simply clicking on the date, which brings up this window here. You have two options. One is an appointment, one is a reminder. An appointment can be used for anything. You can make it as long as you like. You can add a customer to it. You can choose which member of staff it involves. And you can even assign vehicles of interest, such as this. Because we've added a customer and a vehicle to this appointment, we have a shortcut to view the vehicle involved and also to view the contact details. We just need to put a title for the appointment, and then we can just do a follow-up reminder. So it might be good to catch up with the customer after 7 days. This will just remind us to do so. You can also choose which custom calendar it will go into. So here I'm just using the primary calendar, but you can select a number of calendars and these are all color coded. And then we can just simply add the appointment. We then have the option to notify the customer. The booked option will just send a generic confirmation of the booking. And if you choose message, you can add your own custom message to it as well. The other three are designed mostly for when editing a booking. So if you have to cancel it or change it, you can notify the customer of that. Or if you want to simply remind them of an upcoming appointment. So in this case, we'll just send them a booking reminder and then we can close. If you haven't set up different calendars yet, or you want to add more, there's a shortcut to manage calendars here. And you can just add another one and color code it. And as you can see in the main calendar, all your different appointments are color coded accordingly. Adding a reminder works in very much the same way, but requires less details. And we do have this option. If you enable it to be persistent, then this reminder will appear every day on your calendar until you mark it as complete. This might be something like calling a customer. We can actually tag that customer in as well. And then we can simply add that to the calendar as well. You can notify if needed, but because these are generally internal reminders, you don't necessarily need to do that. So we can just close that. As I mentioned when we chose this to be a persistent reminder, this will appear each day until we mark it as done. When you mark a reminder as done, you'll have the line through it. If you want to bring it back, you can re-click it and then press Save Changes and it will come back. So we'll mark that one as done. With appointments, you can actually drag them around to rearrange. So if we need to put that back a week, we can do that. We can then click into it and notify the customer of a change. Or again, once we've pressed saved, we can notify them of the change at this point. If we bring that back to the original date, we can then mark that as done when it's been completed, when we've had the appointment. And in much the same way, it will just cross that off. And if you need to bring it back for whatever reason, you can save the changes like that. If you need to cancel the appointment, you can just click on it and press remove. And you can always, with both bookings and reminders, notify the customer of a cancellation before you remove it. The booking slots work slightly differently as these relate to your website settings bookings tab. These are booking types that you previously set up and they have certain parameters such as how many can be booked simultaneously and which specific hours they can be booked within. So when you add a booking slot, it makes sure that you or a member of staff doesn't book beyond the capacity that you can deal with these booking types. So you're not going to accidentally pile too many test drives on at one time or at a time when you can't actually facilitate the test drive. So here we can just choose 1 o'clock, we'll add that, and it brings us to a very similar appointment page, but obviously the time it was able to be booked and the duration is based off of those booking types in the website settings. So once again, we can add a customer, assign the vehicle, and add any notes if needed. The vehicle test drive booking type was pre-set up to be booked into the test drive calendar, although on all appointments and reminders you can choose different calendars to put them into.